Hello, welcome back to another episode of Teen Talk. It's White Gentry again, and I know it's been a while, but I'm sorry for that. But I miss you guys, so glad to be back with y'all. And last video I recorded was in Florida, and I was a little distracted in that video, but I'm back. So let's just get straight into it, I guess. Today we're talking about something I haven't really talked about in the past. I know it's a starting channel, but still, it's now Christianity isn't religious. It's not a religion; it's a relationship. But most people put it under the religion category, so you know. But this video isn't anything to do with religion, relationship. It doesn't have anything to do with creation or with pastor stuff, whatever. It actually has to do with political stuff this time, actually. And we all know who our president is, and if I offend you, I'm sorry, but this is my channel. I'm going to speak what I believe on here, right? So, our lovely president, right? Everybody loves him. Everybody loves them fuel prices. He came out. I don't exactly know when this was. I think it was a little while ago, but he said, if your children, your children don't belong to you, they're ours, like the states. When he came out and said that, my first thought was like, I'm that's Satan definitely speaking there, because God said, "Be fruitful, multiply." He didn't say, "Be fruitful, multiply, and give your kids to another person." You know, I heard it put this way: you send your wife to go work for another man, and you send your kids to be taught by another woman, right? We, as humans, now I'm a kid, and you might be like, you don't know what you're talking about. But trust me, I've talked to many people about this, and I think I have a basic understanding. Parents are supposed to raise their kids, right? We're supposed to homeschool. We're supposed to raise them here. Because think about it. I went to public school for a long time, and now I'm homeschooled. But your kids are spending more time with their teachers than they're spending with you, parents. So they're gonna know their teachers better than they're gonna know their parents. That is not a good thing at all. Trust me. I barely knew my mom and dad, like, for years, right? I didn't know much about them, sadly, because I was always at school. And on the weekends, like any other city kid, I'd go and I'd hang out with my friends, Like, I didn't know my parents. I didn't have any reason to hang out with them, I guess. I mean, I love them, don't get me wrong. It's just, I just, I spent more time with my friends and my teachers than I did with my parents. It's a sad reality of public schools. So, when Biden came out and said that you parents don't own your children, which God gave you, can you think about that for a second? What could come from such evil as that? Like, I'm gonna say the brute honest truth here. That sounds like a bunch of rich men trying to get what they want. Because we all know the evil's going in this world. You can act like you don't, but you do. Come on, be honest here. What could come from that? Sex trafficking. That could come disappearing children, pedophilia. How about them selling kids off to rich people to do cannibalism? How about that? Yeah, I'm throwing all the hard punches out there because I'm calling it out. I'm not soft and I don't beat around the bush. So, if the state does end up controlling the kids, let's just go in reality where it does, and all this crazy stuff starts to happen, I want my parents to be my parents. I don't want some crazy state guy who probably doesn't have my best interests at heart to be looking after me. That's not what I want. And who knows what they'll do to, especially girls. Who knows? I mean, boys too, yes, but that's a scary, slippery slope. And I am not going to join into that slide because that is not no. It's just no. That's my only word that comes to my head is no. Right? Okay. So if all this starts to go on, especially children that can't make choices on their own are indoctrinated with this mindset that, oh, my parents don't know me, they just birthed me to give me to the state. That sounds like a sacrifice to a god, kind of, but think about that. So then my parents don't own me, then the state everything they say must be right, because they're my guardian now. So if children start to believe this, they'll be very much more prone to wanting to obey the state, right? So then the state comes out and says, if you're a little boy and you want to be a little girl, go ahead, do that. Kindergartners that don't have the brain, what I'm trying to say, the brain capacity, to understand what's going on, they're going to be making those decisions. Can you imagine a whole class of kindergartners who are transgender, who are transgender gay with each other? I don't even know how that works. That's just evil. That's turning the Bible backwards. God said, let there be a man and a woman. He didn't say, well, they can change if they want, They cannot. I made them how they are. Right? So if you're born a boy, you are a boy for the rest of your life. If you're born a girl, you're a girl for the rest of your life. I don't care what kind of crazy doo-doo things you do, you can't change. I think the number of people who do change, regret it. Like massive percentages regret that decision. And a lot of them actually become like pastors, and they're like, do not do this. This was my biggest mistake because I cannot go back. I cannot be what God intended me to be. And that's sad. Like, once you make that decision, there is no turning back. They say it's reversible. They say, oh, if you don't like it, you can say, no. Dear Lord, no. You cannot go back. So then kids start believing that the state owns them. What's the state going to tell them? They're going to tell them, you can be a boy if you're a girl, or vice versa. You can be gay. You can be LGBTQ plus crap, right? That's horrible. Absolutely horrible for these poor children, especially the younger ones who can't comprehend what they're trying to be told here. It's evil. The biggest, worst form of evil that there ever could be, right? And for these older kids like my age, like 14 and up, maybe a little younger, that kind of have an understanding of what's going on, 14 and up, understand it pretty much completely. They understand this, but they've been raised in this doctrination of public schools their whole life. I mean, what are they going to do? They've been brainwashed by the state and by the government. I mean, there's nothing they can do. It's like they were raised that way because their parents didn't raise them, their teachers raised them, and their curriculum raised them, which shows pictures of this and shows pictures of that and tells you can do this and tells you can be that. It's backwards. The Bible says what's good will be wrong, what's wrong will be good. We're in that time, guys. It's getting serious. It's getting the final countdown. But yeah, we're in that time period. I do believe with all my heart because it's getting close. It might not be in my lifetime. It might not be in Generation Alpha's lifetime. It might not be in Generation whatever's lifetime down the road. But relatively speaking, the Earth being about 6,000-ish years old, my beliefs, we're getting close. We're getting close. Oh, sorry about that if you can hear that. So if these kids start believing this, they will obey. They'll obey the state like it's a god. And it's not a good god. It's a twisted, evil monster. I could think of 9,099 words to call it, but I don't have time to do that in a 15-minute video. So let's get back to it. So if you're surrendered to Christ, right? Well, actually, no. Let me talk about something else first. Parents, this is to you, parents. Sorry. I'll be a parent one day, so no. But you guys cannot surrender to the state. It's a Goliath out there, but we have to be the David and pick up our slingshot and fire at that forehead and cut it off with the sword, right? We got to go. It's time to put the pedal to the metal and fight back. I know there's a lot of you out there fighting back, and I am prouder than proud of those families who are taking their kids out of public school like my mom did, taking a step of bravery into the unknown and doing it, just going, putting the blindfold of Jesus on and letting him lead them, right? It's a scary road, but it's worth it, trust me. If you haven't pulled your kid out of public school, my first recommendation would be get him or her out of the public school. My second recommendation, if you're not willing to do that, you better pump that kid up with the Word of God. And if you're not a Christian, then you better pump that kid up with telling them, no, you will not be gay. No, you cannot be transgender. You are made like you are. No, you cannot be having sexual indulgences at age 7. You cannot do that. No, that will not be allowed. It's crazy what they're putting in these schools. Like little vaccines. Like if you don't want your kid being vaxxed, well, they'll put in a little candy thing and give it to your kid. Like, here, kid might not even ever know it's a vaccine. Who knows? Maybe I want to put it past them to put it in the kids' school lunches. I mean, like when I was eating school lunches, I think back now and I'm like, I wonder what they put in those school lunches. I wonder if it was actual junk. It was already junk food, it was crap food full of sugars and all sorts of different food dyes and trying to weaken us and fatten us, but that's a whole different conversation. But they're trying to do these things behind your parents' backs just like that. And if you don't know about that, you better just start doing some research and don't be looking on the news because they'll tell you, oh, no, we don't do that. We're angels. No, they're more like demons, okay? They're Satan in disguise. But back to what I was going to say. If you are surrendered to Christ, you know the Lord. Kids, if you are Christians, you know your master. and he'll call you by name. We are his sheep. He is our shepherd. The state has not one little slimy pinky finger on you if you're a real Christian. They might seem like they are putting their foot down on you. Mm-mm. Christ says, no, I am your shepherd. I am the way. I am the life. You are not slaves to the world out there that is so backwards now. You are the Lord's sheep. Don't let anybody tell you different. And when somebody says, no, the state owns you, you say, no, I am the Lord's sheep. And you get sent to detention for that? Well, guess what? Your parents are Christian too? You're not going to get in trouble at home for saying you're the Lord's sheep. And if you're Christian, if your parents aren't Christian, well, just know in heaven there will be a reward right waiting for you right there for standing up against the evils of this world, against the demons that are in these schools, and standing up and saying, no, 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 I will not bow down. And I will fight for the truth. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Sorry, it's been so long. We're having different living situations than normal. It's temporary. But I should be coming out with one. I'm not sure if it's going to be every Monday or every other Monday. Hopefully, as many Mondays as I can get until that changes again. Who knows what the Lord has. But for now, like, share, subscribe. Definitely share. I don't really care if I get subscribers or likes or crap. That's not what I'm in it for. But that does boost the popularity, and it does put me up there further, so more people can see me. So there's that. It's not, I don't want it for popularity. I want it so more people can know the word. But yeah, like, share, subscribe. Definitely share. This is Team Talk Out. I don't know what video this is, but we're getting there. Have a good day. Parents, don't surrender. Kids, you are not slaves to the state. See you guys.